frustrated.
I've conducted quite a few of these sorts of tests over the years, and each time the experience is quite similar. It's actually quite a stressful thing to be doing, in part because you're trying to be fair to the claimant, and sometimes you don't fully understand all aspects of that claim. Second, you're trying to keep some, obviously, kind of control over the situation, often under conditions which are really quite difficult and quite fluid, and particularly when it's the first time that's been tested. And suddenly the claimant says, well, actually, I'm slightly unhappy with this. I didn't realise it was going to be like this. So you're trying to negotiate this process, and at the end of the day, both parties normally turn around and argue about the result.
Further tests will only aggravate her nervousness, the feeling that people treat her unfairly. I think in the future she should probably avoid being tested altogether.
Though they admit the test's limitations, PsyCop are sticking to their conclusions about Natasha. Her extraordinary gift, they say, is actually the power of persuasion.
I think part of what makes this a very compelling performance to watch is that, first of all, she's very young, and she looks especially young. And so you have this young girl coming out with this amazing dialogue, which has medical elements all over it. She'll talk about lungs, and then kidneys, and then bile, then enzymes in the brain, then the back, and then aches, and then pains, and so on. Now, the participant is trying to make sense of all of that, is trying to extract meaning. So what they will do is focus on the parts of the reading which make sense to them and drop out the other parts. And of course, normally she's sitting in front of people that really want to believe. They want to think that, yes, indeed, there's someone who can just look at them and tell them what's wrong with them. We have something which is quite compelling here, something that looks rather strange, almost looks magical, looks paranormal. I don't think there is anything psychic going on, but I can understand why people would believe that.
People believe that she can do it. All kinds of people she's impressed, doctors and so on. How come smart people can get to believe things that aren't so? There isn't anyone, a smart doctor, a professor, a Nobel Prize winner. We all can be victims of illusions.
So when her patients find out Natasha's claims have been rejected by scientists, will their illusions be shattered?
Well, maybe it has something to do with those people not believing in her, or maybe she didn't have good energy from them, and she knew that it was that they were testing her and not asking for her assistance. I think it's a very intimate thing, an intimate gift, and you have to be open to her.
You know, some scientists are close-minded. They say no matter what the evidence, they will not believe in the paranormal. And I think that's a bad thing. But it's also equally bad to say, you know, I'm also close-minded. So it doesn't matter what scientific evidence you present me with, I'm always going to believe these people have an ability. If there are lots of people like that out there, there is always going to be an audience for people like Natasha. And it doesn't matter what we do in terms of testing. It's not about the results. This is about belief.
It's the afternoon of Natasha's high school graduation, marking the end of her school career. Despite all the other events of recent months, she's done brilliantly in her end-of-school exams, winning a gold medal for some of the best marks in Mordovia.
For the last 3 months, my life has been rather difficult. The tests in America, my exams, and trying for a gold medal. I wasn't too upset about the results of the test. It was its manner and strategy, as I've said, that I didn't really like. But now time has passed. I don't feel so bad. I achieved my first goal, a gold medal. Now I must set a new goal, which I'll be working hard for. First, to be accepted to Moscow University, the medical school. And maybe my second dream will come true, to finish medical school with honors.
My hope for Natasha is that she will grow up and go to medical school like she wants to and become a good doctor and give up this aspect of her life. This is something I hope she grows out of. That's my hope. I don't think it's good in the long run for any of us to be living an illusion.
In one way at least, Natasha has won her battle for scientific respectability. She's been accepted by Moscow's most prestigious medical school and will begin her degree later this year.
You know, she has a stream of people who do not test her, who just trust her. And she had it for more than 6 years now. People came to Saransk from all over Russia, and they will find her in Moscow, because they need her.
In fact, I do believe that Natasha had this gift. I don't listen to what other people think, because I believe she has it, because I have experienced it myself.
I believe Natasha and her diagnosis. I can't answer for other people, but I believe her. From the bottom of my heart, I believe her.